Hey guys. Okay, today I want to talk about what you need when working with demons. So a lot of people have asked me this question. What's all involved with working with demons? What do I need to do when working with demons? How do I even, approach a demon to work with them? Well, I'm going to answer all these questions in this video. First step, I tell all this to everybody, is if you want to work with demons, you have to read. Read books on demons, read books on demonolatry, read books on working with spiritual beings because it is quite the experience. A lot of people say it's really dangerous. I don't think it's that dangerous. I've never really had a negative experience from working with them that hasn't been the result of me doing something stupid. So I personally think that if you approach demons and if you approach working with entities in the right way, there is nothing to worry about. But you do have to be prepared. There are negative entities out there that will try to hurt you. So the next step I would say is learning about your spiritual foundation, which I cover in other videos. You have to have your spiritual foundation. You have to know how to protect yourself. And you have to know what to do if a negative situation arises. You basically have to be able to handle yourself in a spiritual situation when it comes to working with demons. Because you don't want to just go in there a novice. I mean, mentally, you can't really go in there novice. You have to train your mind to be able to hear their messages, to be able to connect with them, to be able to work with the energies. Because even the initial interaction themselves, their vibrations are going to awaken things in you. They're going to stir your own energy. So you have to kind of be prepared for that awakening and energy shifting and your own mind playing tricks on you, your own body doing things. I mean, when you invite a new energy to come into your world, it changes you. It changes everything about you and it changes, your experience in this world. So you really want to prepare yourself ahead of time by reading as much as you can. So read books on demons, read books on spirits, connecting with spirits, read books on entities. There's online communities out there that talk about working with spirits, working with different entities. Find one that you are comfortable with, that energetically resonates with you. I know we run Satan and Sons, which is our forum where we talk about it, but there's lots of other great ones out there. Find one that resonates with you and know yourself, know your energies, know your spiritual foundation, know what you're getting into. So that's step one. Step two is the research on the demon you want to approach. Who do you want to approach? Why do you want to approach them? What's the best way to approach them? My path, respect. Respect and honoring the demon, not being mean to them, not commanding them, not ordering them around. I've had great results with that way. When you approach them from a place of respect and adoration, that energy gets reciprocated. And I honestly think it is one of the most empowering ways to approach them. So what you want to do, how do you know what demon you want to work with? Well, again, reading about them. Read about the different demons that are out there. Read about what they offer. Read about what they do. Read about warnings that are attached to them. Sometimes those warnings aren't because they're dangerous, but because the demon is going to change your life. Like Mammon destroyed my life. Destroyed it in the best way possible. He destroyed the life I didn't want to help me grow the life I wanted. But he still destroyed my life, which, is quite a hilarious story now to tell in itself. At the time, I was horrified, but now it's the best thing that could have happened. So sometimes, working with them, you're going to get things that you're like, why did I ask for this? Why did I do this? So research as much as you can on the demon. You might have different impressions. You might have different insights. You might have different, messages that come through to you. You might walk by and you might see, oh, Asmodeus. I see Asmodeus everywhere. Why am I seeing Asmodeus everywhere? Pay attention to those things because there are going to be clues in your surroundings when you go to approach a demon. When you start to work with them, you're going to see things. You're going to start picking up on things and you're going to be drawn to the demon that will work best for you. You're going to see a name and you're going to be like, that's the one. I know with Mammon, when I started working with him, I knew he was going to be the demon who helped me get where I wanted to go. And he has. It's still continuing 10 years on and I'm still working with him, but it's been the most amazing and life-changing thing of my life. So research and pay attention to what's going on around you. When we are practitioners, when we work with magic, when we work with energies, when we work with entities and demons, we need to be present in our bodies. We need to be present with the energies around us, and we need to be aware of what's going on. The energies around us leave clues, and they help guide us to where we want to go. We are always energetically being left breadcrumbs to follow. And when we are present and aware of our surroundings, it is easy to follow those breadcrumbs and figure out where we want to go. So be present and be aware of what's going on around you. Okay, so let's say you have picked out a demon. Let's say Lucifer. Let's say you've called to Lucifer and you want to connect with him. You want to seek counsel with him, create a sacred space where you can work with him and receive his guidance and wisdom. So what I would do then is I would then read everything I could on Lucifer. But not from a place of blindly reading it, because a lot of stuff written out there is not going to align with you. It's not going to resonate with you. I know that when I started reading about demons, I was like, none of this resonates with me. I mean, the only thing that I read that got marginally close to my path with demons was Demonolatry. That was the only path. So read everything you can about them, but take everything with a grain of salt. Find something that resonates with you. Find something that aligns with you. A lot of working with demons and a lot of working on any spiritual path is being able to listen to your own inner wisdom and your own inner guidance, because that is taking you to what will work best for you. When you listen to your own inner voice and you listen to that inner wisdom, you'll be able to put together the ritual and be guided to the information that is going to work best and align with you. So pay very careful attention to what you're feeling when you're reading, because that is guiding you as well. If it doesn't feel right, don't do it. If it feels right, go for it. That's the key thing. If something really doesn't feel right with you, it's not going to work out, because you're going to have this internal struggle with yourself where you're blocking yourself. So make sure that what you're reading, the information that you're getting, is aligning with you. It's aligning with that core truth that's inside of you. So once you gather the information, you want to start looking at offerings. What sort of altar are you going to set up? What sort of system are you going to use? Are you going to have a shield, call in an elemental shield to kind of create the sacred space? Are you going to, there's lots of rituals out there. The ritual I like to do is I like to cleanse the room. Then I like to call in the elemental circle. And then I like to raise the energy vibration of the room and attune it to the demon that I'm working with. And I do that by creating an altar specifically for that demon with their sigil, offerings that they like, and chanting therein or doing some form of prayer or invocation towards them that is attuned to them and is respectful to them, inviting them to join me in sacred space. I am very big at invitations. I do not like to call to command. I do not like to, order. I like to invite. I'm big on invitations. I've, created the space. I've brought these offerings, and now I'm inviting you to join me. That is how I work with them. So once the altar has been prepared, and how you figure out what the altar is going to be depends on the demon. Different demons have different likes, they have different preferences, they have different colors, they have different things that resonate with them. This is where researching the demon is very important, because you want to make sure that you have an altar that aligns with what they like. So, you have the altar with different candles. I usually have candles, incense, crystals, tea, different items that are important symbolically to the ritual, and of course the demon sigil. Once the altar has been created, then you want to figure out what ritual you want to do. I have created all my own rituals. That's one big thing. I like to, use the rituals that are tuned to my energies, and I found them to work very well. But there's many different rituals out there that you can use to invite the demon to join you. I really suggest researching them and reading up on as many of them as you can. There's going to be different elements in them. Some you might like the ritual, but you might not like different elements in it. It's perfectly okay at times to change the elements to suit what is more aligned with you. That's how I started rewriting my rituals. I read the rituals that were out there and I was like, none of this fits. I don't like any of this. So I was like, all right, well, if a demon and I wanted, and I was being called, what would I like to have said to me? What would I like to have? So I wrote the ritual based on that element of what I feel is respectful, what aligns with me, what I feel, would be a way to honor the demon and honor their presence in my home. That's where I started writing my rituals from. And you can do that too. You can basically create anything you want. You'll know pretty fast if it works. I mean, either it works and the demon's there or it doesn't work and nothing. In which case, don't consider it a failure. Go back to the drawing board and look at everything. Look at your elements and figure out, what you need to tweak. What can you do differently in order to, have a successful ritual? It might be your own mind. Your mind might be blocking you. In which case, go back to focusing on mental mastery exercises just to open up your energies. There's lots of different reasons why rituals fail. And with any of them, I always say, go back to the drawing board and take a look. What did I do? What can I do differently? What needs to be done? I mean, so really, once you've had a successful invocation where the demon has come, you kind of know what you're doing. It's the initial one. It's the very first one that's always challenging. What's going to happen? What's the first step? How do I do this? I mean, when many people meet demons for the first time, it shocks them and it changes their world. Some people it's a very positive experience. Some people it can be a negative experience because they can have things that come up that they need to heal that are blocking them, like childhood traumas. You grew up in a really religious house and you've been told every day that the demons are evil and they're going to kill you and take your soul. So the demon appears before you and suddenly you're having a panic attack. These sorts of things. All these things that come up when working with demons are things usually that are internal that you need to heal. It's good to be aware of yourself when you want to work with demons, and especially aware of your shadow self, because these are the things that might be triggered. These are the things that might come up. I mean, most of the time I find that you can't get everything. I mean, I've had lots of situations where I've worked with demons and things have come up, and a lot of the time the demon is there and actually will help me through it. They'll work with me, they'll guide me, they'll be like, okay, well, you're feeling this, so, work through like this. And they'll show me step by step what I need to do to get over it. It's a really empowering space when you invite them and when they show up, because they can heal you, they can help you, they can guide you, they can direct you, and it's usually a really positive exchange. I mean, there are negative exchanges, there are things that can go wrong and can happen, which is why I always say to have your spiritual foundation and know how to shield, know how to ward, know how to cleanse, know how to take care of the energy space around you, because if the demon doesn't show up and something else does, something negative and dark, you have to know how to banish it and get it out of your space. So spiritual foundation, very important. So, I mean, to summarize this, what you need when working with demons, read spiritual foundation, research the demon, research the different methods of connecting, research the different rituals, find one that works for you, and experiment with it. Give it a try and see what happens. The worst that can happen, the worst that can happen is something else shows up and, attacks you. But if that happens, you just shield and banish, or the demon doesn't show up. And then you just go back to the drawing board and try it again. A lot of it comes down to just your willingness to research and learn and also experiment with the different methods to find the one that works for you. I mean, at the end of the day, if you have a calling to work with demons, if you feel pulled to them, there's something there and it's worth exploring. Start taking the steps, start, putting your foot in the water. I mean, or dive right in. Some people do that and just, see where it goes. Make sure you're prepared. Make sure that you know yourself well enough and you know how to protect yourself. But if you're called to them, they might already be reaching out to you. And it's never a bad thing to answer those calls. Until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like what you see, please subscribe below. And if you have any questions, comments, please feel free to put them below in the comment section. Thank you so much, guys. Have